Welcome. It's good to see you. In this algebra lesson, we're going to go ahead and look at evaluate expressions with order of operations. It's very important that you do your operations like multiplying, dividing, adding, and subtracting. It's very important that you do your operations in order. So again, what we look at is something called PEMDAS right here. And in PEMDAS, we'll see that we do math expressions. We evaluate what's inside the parentheses first. Next, we evaluate what is inside of exponents. That's what we do second. Multiply and divide are next. We'll do that next in our list. They are a tie. If you get a math expression with both multiplication and division, when you get a tie, you will evaluate from left to right. Next, in order of operations, we do addition and subtraction last. If we have an expression with both addition and subtraction, there's a tie, we'll go ahead and evaluate that expression from left to right. Let's go ahead and look at some examples. Welcome. It's good to see you. Our first example is read 4 to the second power, or 4 squared. The 2 means that there are 2 4s. So there are 2 4s. This exponent means there are 2 4s. So I'll multiply 4 times 4, which is 16. And that is the solution to this one. Let's go ahead and look at 5 to the third power, or 5 cubed. That means there's 3 5s. So going from left to right, because it's the same order, going from left to right, there's a tie. I'll evaluate 5 times 5 is 25, times 5 will give me 125. Let's go ahead and look at our next expression. Remember, these are expressions because there's no equal in this statement, this math statement. There's no equal here in this statement. It would be an equation if there was equal in it. Right now it's just an expression. So here, what we notice first is we have a set of parentheses. So we'll do what's inside the parentheses first. And so 6 plus 2, we'll go ahead and add that and get 8. Next, we'll bring down the 5. We have 8 times 5. We'll go ahead and multiply 8 times 5. That is 40. And this expression has been evaluated. All right. We'll go ahead and move on to this example right here. 4 plus 8 times 3. And you'll notice that, again, multiplication. Right here, multiplication is above addition and subtraction. So since multiplication is above addition in our order of operations, we'll do the multiplication first. So we'll multiply 8 times 3 and get 24. We can bring down our 4, and we add 4 plus 24 to get 28. Okay? Remember, order of operations, as we said, do what's in parentheses first, exponents next. Multiply and divide is after that, followed by addition and subtraction. All right, so looking at this next example right here, what we will notice is the order of operations that multiplication is should be done first. So we'll go ahead and multiply 5 times 4 is 20. We can bring down the 20 and the 3 on the end. The next thing we notice, we have subtraction and addition. And if we have subtraction and addition, that's a tie. So we'll evaluate from left to right. So going left to right, what we'll see is 20 minus 20 is 0. We bring down the 3. And then we have 0 plus 3, and that is 3. Okay? So order of operations. We'll go ahead and move on to this example right here. If we look at order of operations, we see parentheses at the top. We'll do that first. So we'll go ahead and do the parentheses first. What's in the parentheses first is 3 plus 6, and that gives us our 9. We bring down the 5 and the 1. Now, the operations are multiply and add. Well, multiply is to be done before addition, so we'll go ahead and multiply. 9 times 5 is 45. We're bringing down the 1, and 45 plus 1 gives us the answer of 46. So that is the evaluated expression. Let's look at this one. So what we here see is division, multiplication, subtraction, and an exponent. Well, exponent is right below parentheses, so we'll go ahead. It's the one we should evaluate first. So we'll go ahead, and this is read 2 to the third power. So there'll be 3 2s, 2 times 2 times 2. if we evaluate that, 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 times 2 will give us 8. And keep in mind, we just bring down the 16, we bring down the 8, we bring down the 5 for our next set of operations. Now, we notice what we see here now is division and multiplication are the highest operations. So again, division and multiplication are higher than what we see as a subtraction is at the bottom. So we'll go ahead and go left to right. 16 divided by 8 is 2. And then we'll do multiply the 2 times 5. We'll get 10 there. We're bringing down the negative minus 8 right here. And 10 minus 8 gives us 2. Okay. So let's look at this last one. We have something a little bit different here. We have brackets are really, treat them the same as you would parentheses. So when you have these two brackets right here, you'll treat those the same as you would parentheses. And when you have parentheses within parentheses, so you see this inner set of parentheses right here, we have the 7 minus 2. We'll always do what's inside, the parentheses inside first, and we'll work inside out. So the first thing we see, remember, parentheses are the highest order of operation that we'll do first. And we do the inner parentheses before the outer. So 7 minus 2 will give us, 7 minus 2 will give us 5. Okay, we can bring everything else down, 5, the parentheses of 30, and bring down the squared in the other bracket right here. Next thing we see in looking at this equation, next thing that is to be done after the parentheses, and we're doing the inner parentheses first. Once everything in the inner brackets, I should say the inner brackets is done first, then we can go ahead and do everything outside those brackets. So looking inside these brackets, what we see is we have an exponent 5 to the second power. We'll do 5 to the second power. Exponents are to be done after parentheses. So working from the inside out, do everything inside the parentheses first. The brackets, I should say. 5 squared is 25, bring down the 30, the bracket, and the 5. Working inside the brackets, or the parentheses, in this case it's brackets, 30 minus 25 is 5. And now we have 5 minus 5, or you should say 5 plus 5, which is 10. 5 plus 5, which is 10. So this is our example, our set of examples, and always remember, PEMDAS, parentheses first, exponents are to be done second, multiplication and division are done third. They're considered the same precedence. Last precedence is addition and subtraction. And when you get a tie, when you have an expression with all of it is addition and subtraction, you're going to go ahead and evaluate from left to right. Thank you for attending this algebra lesson on evaluating expressions with order of operations. And we'll see you next time. Remember, subscribe for these algebra lessons. Thank you.